What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue, in the red color. His name is the Rapl, and he is playing Zeus, and he is wandering into the middle of nowhere. If he kept going, he would have found rhinos. He runs all the way back here onto these. Onto this hunt. Not going to be happy about that start, but it is what it is. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Ra. Not utilizing the hypermodern Ra build order. His name is Ulysses. For those of you who are really into min-maxing and trying to work out the most efficient way to do something, you have to kind of decide at the very beginning of the game, and it's pretty easy to make the decision, what sort of strategy you want to go for.
And
So, for Ra, my immediate thought whenever I launch into the game is how much food do I have? If I feel like I have enough food, I'll send my first villager or my first 2 villagers from my town center to gold. This allows me to build a temple and build a monument or 2 and get a 430 advance time. If my food situation is not that great in the early stages of the game, then I'll send lots of villagers over to food and try to go for a later advance time, go for more of a 1 town center style of play, because that way I'll have a little bit more economy and a little. You don't need to advance as fast. The early temple doesn't matter as much, and you can find yourself having a good time where that's concerned. So that's the important questions to ask yourself when you're deciding what sort of early game build to go. So maybe Ulysses here is going to think about going for a 1 town center play, because he's putting a lot of villagers over onto gold right now. But if he wants to go 1 town center with Ra, probably needs some wood so he can get Shadoof. If he wants to go 2 town centers here, it's a really nice 2 town center map. He's got double rhino on those town centers. It's going to be very hard. And on the back of the town center to boot, it's going to be really hard to deny those. However, he has a really, really bad gold mine. Odysseus can come in here and sling arrows at these villages. There's no secondary gold mine over here for Ulysses to go to. So Ulysses might actually have to use shifting sands on the Odysseus. And you don't really want to do that with Ra. Shifting sands is super important for mid-game timings, late-game ideas, and a bunch of other cool stuff. As you can see, now the temple's coming down. Ulysses is going to be going for a 4-minute to 4-minute 30 advance time. All of this would have been possible if without putting all these villagers and the priest on the temple, having more resources in the bank, but he decides to do this anyways. Rapl, on the other hand, throwing down his temple. He's got his villagers over here, finishing up the gazelle over on this position. He's over on the zebra as well, going to be going for a 430 advance time. There's a couple of ideas I have with Zeus where I think sometimes not getting the early Jason and Odysseus makes a lot of sense, instead favoring grabbing a 4-minute town center, so getting it up 30 seconds earlier means you're going to be getting an extra 2 villagers out, and then you can get your Odysseus and Jason a little bit later. But that requires a little bit of scouting, a little bit of forethought to decide whether or not you want to go for early Jason, Odysseus, or what you want to do. So we are seeing Athena coming through. We are seeing a second town center on the way. No surprises here for Rapl. But just something to keep in the back of your mind as advancing faster and getting the earlier second town center is better in the... Oops, this pig is causing some issues for Rapl, but is better in the fact you get some extra villagers out. But advancing at 430 means you can get the town center plus Jason and Odysseus and get some good pressure on. And seeing that in this game, Ulysses is going to be having some trouble on this gold mine. Definitely getting early Jason Odysseus out is going to be a big help. Now, if we take a look at Ulysses' position here, we haven't seen any sort of box being set up just yet. The villagers coming over here onto this position with the priest here. I'm going to try and get this one up as Rapl hits the Athena, the classical age, just a little bit late here, 7 seconds behind. Not exactly sure why that was. I guess he did have the the delay in walk time over onto this location early into the game. Anyways, moving ahead, we will be seeing the Minotaur wandering forward here for Rapl, looking for something to do. We are going to be going straight after this town center, though there's nothing really on this one. Both these town centers are roughly the same. Have a handful of hippo here, crocodile here, handful of hippo here. So they're kind of roughly the same. And Ulysses is going to be happy here. He's got the rhino to eat. He's got himself plenty of villagers on food to support these two town centers. He's over here happily eating the zebra on this location. And if Ulysses can do a 2 town center like fast, I don't think he needs wood here. 2 town center fast heroic without rain, and then get Shadoof and spam farms. That's where it's really, really strong. As you can see, the reason it's really strong is because it allows you to hit amazingly fast Mythic Ages, and you can hit really, really strong timings onto boomy Zeus players, especially Zeus players who go through Athena. You really, really punish them being so boomy with shifting sands and all the other good stuff. As we see this Minotaur checking out this location here, Odysseus on the prowl here. A little bit later than I would have expected for Odysseus to get in here, but he's coming in nonetheless. We see some walls getting built up here, but it's going to be too little too late for Ulysses. He's going to be in a little bit of a problem. He does have a gold mine over here as the village is getting pulled back. We do see that this wall is getting built up, and Rapl is just simply going to walk forward here and start shooting these villagers sitting on this location, being a very, very big pain. So we will be seeing the Pharaoh coming through onto this position. And will the Pharaoh be able to defend this is the big question. The villager does get sniped down. Big win there for Rapl as the villager starting to shank down the Odysseus here. He will actually go down. We see a bolt onto the Wadger. A little bit surprised to see that one there as the Minotaur going to be coming back in onto this position. The Pharaoh just about to get taken down and will indeed fall here. But so too with the Odysseus. That's actually really, really big. I haven't seen that happen before. The walls were up in time to prevent. I think the Odysseus could have sat here. I don't think that he needed to sit on this wall. I don't think this wall's that great, but he did go for it nonetheless. And he loses Odysseus, and Ulysses is going to be able to continue here. No troubles. But we see another Odysseus getting trained, going to be sent in to harass this gold mine yet again. Ulysses, on the other hand, still pumping villagers out. We see an armory coming in. We've got ourselves Shadoof on the way, as well as a priest and Hands of the Pharaoh. As walls starting to come down, Rapl getting himself a 3rd town center here, as he's going to be throwing his armory down as well. So this kind of looks like a sort of really, really greedy, fast Mythic of some variety from Rapl. There is another reason to go quick to the heroic age with Zeus, and that's so that you can train out a bunch of Hippocon, because they do train 5 seconds faster at 15 seconds instead of 20 seconds if you're in the heroic age. So that could be the reason here. And we will have to wait and see. Maybe Rapl feels like he's done enough damage, won't have to defend all too much. Ulysses, on the other hand, still hasn't advanced. He's starting to throw his farms down. He'll be running out of gold here in the near future. More farms coming through. We see the Odysseus moving in onto this position here, going to start getting some damage onto this gold. You can see that he can very comfortably hit this gold mine and stay out of the range of watchtowers here. And we do have a question, a little bit of clarification. The only civilization that this applies to is Greek, and Greek has, simply put, the stable. If we can see a stable, there is no stable. Wait. No, there's no stable just yet. Simply put, Hippocon, the only unit that this happens for, Hippocon train 15 seconds in the heroic age and 20 seconds in the classic age. So you get a slight boost when you're in the heroic age for their train time. I'm not exactly sure why it is, but it is. And while this Odysseus is getting some good value here, these villagers probably not going to fall. They just get pushed back and then come back to the gold. It's all good. We see the watchtower getting a little bit of pain here as Rapl has to pull his Odysseus back just a little bit. He's going to put this Odysseus on passive stance here so he doesn't have to move too far. Going to keep attacking laborers. No problems there. as Rapl just about to be able to advance to the next stage. Ulysses, on the other hand, has clicked up through Hathor. We see the Pharaoh coming forward, going to look to start throwing some pebbles at the Odysseus. We'll see if Rapl's going to pay attention to this one or not. He does notice that, going to return fire. Odysseus does win that fight pretty hard. But Ulysses doesn't really need to hang here. Doesn't really need to hang here. Rapl, on the other hand, going up through Apollo. There's a world as well where Rapl is going to go for a hoplite timing or a mythic timing. Not even a timing, just trying to get to the mythic age and defend. But this is a very peculiar game, as there's no reason for Ulysses to not be heroic age here. I feel like he could have walled this off here and here. Spent about the same amount of gold to get the wall off. Everything is looking very, very difficult for Ulysses right now in this matchup. So we'll see what he's going to choose. He decides to go straight to the Mythic Age, throw a Migdol down, try and get some raids in. He does need to try and find a way onto this gold mine at some point. Meanwhile, we've got a wall coming up onto this position. We did miss the relics here, so let's talk about those while heroic ages are coming in. Not Ulysses. The relic here is the Toothed Arrow, is an extra 5% bonus pierce damage for your archers. And then the Canopic Jar of Imset is here as well, which is extra... or a reduction in training time by 15%. And we do see Ulysses dropping a Migdol Stronghold. Siege Works coming down. We see the Patsukos moving forward here in the rock, and the Odysseus getting pulled back to defend. Ulysses is going to be looking for some kind of Locust, as Rapl is simply going to be going to the Mythic Age. I love this play. I think this play is super greedy, but if you see your opponent advancing this late, things are going really, really bad. There's no way that Rapl should be able to get to the Mythic Age here, advancing at 11 minutes. Thank you so much for the 500 bits, KRT Vision. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, my friend. There's no reason Rapl should get an uncontested 3-town center, 12-minute 30 Mythic Age against Ra on Watering Hole. So Ulysses is going to have to go back to the drawing board with his Ra here to try and work out how we can... prevent this from happening. But this doesn't mean that Rapl is out of the woods just yet. We see some military academies getting thrown down. Rappel's going to be making himself Myrmidons, I guess. A whole bunch of villagers on the favor here to get himself Forge of Olympus. Even a Pegasus is out right now for him to find some sort of a raid, some sort of a underworld, I should say. One thing I would like to see from Rapl is maybe a stable to make a handful of Prodromus, as he's seeing those cavalry coming through. There is no gap here, it doesn't seem like. Those cavalry from Ulysses not going to be able to do all too much, as Ulysses now moving forward, looking for something to raid with this rock. There's no real units in the rock apart from the Patsukos, though, so you probably could utilize the rock to jump across from here into here, nullifying the walls, which Rapl has made here, but not going for that just yet. Mark it down in the corner for Ulysses. Not quite on the corner, but close enough is good enough, apparently. So we see this gate getting slowly taken down, a granary coming over here for Rapl to grab these rhinoceros here, as this rock has been spotted. The Odysseus getting pulled back to try and pick this one off, as he's going to be searching around for something to take out. He does spot the villagers here. Locust getting dropped here. How many villagers going down? 1, 2, 3, 4 villagers going down. But immediately we will be seeing Plenty Vault getting thrown down as well, as Rapl getting himself Forge of Olympus here. So we've got ourselves the archery ranges, we've got ourselves some military academies, and the medium Myrmidon. I mean, if I was Rapl here, I wouldn't bother with these archery ranges. I don't feel like it does anything. These should be a fortress and Heliopoli, in my opinion. Just because they don't need upgrades and they're already stronger than champion Toxotes in many different ways. As we do see that this wall has been broken through, the cavalry coming over here will actually greet 2 villagers that are coming onto this position. If Ulysses notices it or not, looks like he will. He'll take down those villagers nice and easily here. But Rapl doesn't really care. He's got this gold mine over here that's completely fine for him to be grabbing. It's more Myrmidon coming through. They are heavy Myrmidon as well. And now we've got Forge of Olympus through. We've got a Bellerophon through as well, as Rapl has got everything he needs to really start putting pressure on. He can start thinking about getting those armory upgrades when he has resources, which he has managed to do there. We've got ourselves copper shields, copper mail, copper weapons. In this position over here, Bellerophon going to try and defend it by himself. He's strong, but he's not that strong. As the villagers do get pulled off of this line, we see the Heracles coming through here. Do we have the upgrade here? No, we do not. Temple of Healing, such a strong upgrade. We see this town center getting grabbed now by Ulysses. Is Ulysses going up through anything? Not just yet. No, we see the docks coming through as well for Ulysses as he notices that this town center is in range. There's the Son of Osiris being converted by Ulysses, but the Pharaoh's a little bit damaged. A little bit damaged there. As an as a Manticore coming in here to try and take out these chariot archers a little bit easier. And where's the army here for Rapl? He's got plenty of units in. Heavy Myrmidon, full copper. And he's at 144 of 145 population. And it looks like he can just march forward here. Go straight after this town center and be completely fine. As we see a siege works getting dropped. But the problem with this is, if Rapl just goes for a underworld here instead, there's no way for Ulysses to bring his army back in time. As we see these units going to be taking a bit of a fight here. Ulysses is going to be retreating away. But if he can get back over here, kill this town center, it's really, really strong. There's no masons. We are seeing these units moving in, going to grab the plenty vault for just a little bit here, as the units are going to look to try and take down these villages on this position. So we see the Toxotes retreating back to try and take them out. As we see these chariot archers coming in to take these bad boys down. The villagers pulling off the gold mine, going after the cavalry. Toxotes coming back to try and take these out. But Rapl will take a few losses here, it would seem, as the Myrmidon pushing forward. Do they have full bronze? Yes, they do. Not only that, we've got ourselves Oracle here as well. So they see a lot of line of sight. There's the chariot archers retreating away from the Toxotes for the time being. And still Rapl holding on to his underworld. Does he have fortified town centers coming through? Yes, he does. Just about to get his villagers back as well that he's been losing. Now Rapl looking to push in here. We see the Son of Osiris is here though. A little bit scary as the Toxotes over here have pushed the chariot archers back yet again. Rapl is defending this one nicely. There's a very easy way to get a side build in here as well for Rapl. He's already got villages this far forward, so he could push forward and throw a whole bunch of barracks down here if he wants to. Now we see the terrifying moment when Oxy war barges come in. This is one of the most overpowered parts of playing for the water on Watering Hole. It's you just get these up, and if you don't have a fortress here, it's really hard to defend it. Meanwhile, we do see a Shifting Sands coming in onto this position. Everyone coming over here. The Underworld was cast, but too little, too late. The Shifting Sands not able to prevent the town center from going down as the Colossus does finish this one off. We see the Restoration getting dropped here. The Mummy getting pushed back. Jason coming through to take this one out. Those Myrmidon going to do a huge amount of damage here as the Odysseus and the Jason do manage to slap that Mummy down. As the Son of Osiris over here getting taken down very nicely. This town center attempting to come back up. We do see the dock is up now for Rapl. He needs to make some Pentacontra out of this one. Meanwhile, the Son of Osiris has been caught out here. Going to be going down very, very fast. Trying to make a break for it, but still losing some more HP here. Unfortunate micro there from Moore. He deletes the houses to try and get the Son of Osiris away, but cannot fully get out as the Myrmidon do manage to take that one down. The villagers now going after this underworld passage as the villagers do not manage to get the dock down and get Pentacontras out to deal with these Oxy war barges. It's absolutely huge. Meanwhile, will Rapl react to this and send some villagers through here or not? But he's actually going up to the front right now. The Colossus mostly just pushing in here to take that one down. The Underworld passage does get taken out. The mercenary cavalry coming through to try and defend here. We don't see any sort of barracks onto this position. Moore's, oh, sorry, not Moore. Ulysses looking for something to throw down onto this position over here, some sort of a side build for himself. Meanwhile, the Doc's coming back up over here, trying to get out Pentacontas and the like. Ulysses is at 120 population now as he does lose this town center as well. Gold Colossus are in. So we see a mummy coming through. We'll be able to pick off one of those Colossus, but there are 4 there. And the Odysseus has only got 16 HP, but he'll be able to take out the mummy nonetheless. They could also be thinking about getting Beast Slayer for those heavy Myrmidon to take out those mummies even faster, but it doesn't matter because Odysseus in takes it down. The Migdol Stronghold comes up. We do see the dock over here as well, so some more Oxy War Barges can come through here to prevent this town center from coming up, as we see some catapult swinging through here as well. Meanwhile, some Pentacontas have been queued up, but Rapl is full population for the time being. He could just throw up a fortress here, and that would be enough to kind of push these back for a little bit, but no fortress for the time being. We see the Colossus coming through here just a little bit. And these Myrmidon going to come through and kill off the Colossus as well here. As one Pentaconta has come through, going to be able to take out at least 1 or 2 of these Oxy War Barges. Now, you have to remember the upgrades here are going to significantly favor the Pentaconta as well. So, able to take these down is very, very helpful. As the town center going to be coming up over here, this catapult here, very, very low HP. So, the villagers need to come over here and take these catapults down. See if Ulysses is going to pay attention or just let those fall. Meanwhile, we've got a temple coming up on here for Rapl to try and take this town center down for himself there, as well as one of those catapults do get taken down. More villagers coming through over here. We do see a mummy onto this position to take out one of those Colossus there. Does manage to pick off one as the town center is going to be coming up. We see another Pentaconta out. So we got 3 Pentacontas. The town center is now coming back up for Rapl. As the champion Myrmidon with full iron are out here, able to push in. And what can you do against Myrmidon? The answer that you need for Myrmidon is actually Axeman. Axeman. Now, can this Oxy War Barge move in and deny this town center is the big question. Meanwhile, 1 or 2 ramming galleys coming out here, and it can actually deny this town center for just a little bit here, as Rapl is going to be a little bit annoyed about that when he gets his temple up over here. Going to start training Colossus into it. He's got 8 villagers on favor at this point. We're not really having the gold to produce those Colossus fast enough, as this town center does get denied. And meanwhile, these Pentagon are still doing some good jobs over here dealing with these ramming galley, as more ramming galley coming in here. Now we see Rapl coming through to take this location out. This Colossus sitting at full population. Some hoplites getting trained out of this location here, as well as one Myrmidon will actually maybe be able to take down an entire Oxy War Barge. Imagine you are the lone Myrmidon tasked with taking out a gigantic ship here. Not quite going to be able to take it out, I don't think, but doing some good jobs nonetheless, as Bellerophon jumps in and says, I want to help. Let me help. And he will actually take out that Oxy War Barge there, as the unit's still pushing through here, taking out everything on this side of the map. And now we see some hoplites coming through here trying to take out some villages. The Colossus still not being trained on that position there. There we go. Colossus out. Colossus going to be able to go after the fortified town centers fairly soon. This town center is coming up very quickly for Rapl as he's pushing through the main base of Ulysses, and it doesn't look like Ulysses has got all too much to answer here, as the chariot arch is getting torn down by the Bellerophon. Rapl builds his town center. Ulysses losing this town center. Rapl getting tons more units out on this position. This Colossus getting trained as well, so he's going to have 2 to take out the fortified town center. The hoplites going after villagers on this position over here as well. All of the units are running rampant around Ulysses' base as he's desperately trying to defend, getting out the heavy mercenary, the camel caravans, trying to get as much gold as they possibly can here, as we do see an attempt at grabbing this gold mine over here that Rapl will say no to very, very shortly, I'm sure, as he's sending more units in. The hoplites just in way too much of a mass here, as Ulysses does have a temple up on this position to try and make a mummy and take these Colossus out. And we'll see if he's going to be able to do that or not here, as the mummy does not get trained because he's at full population, but it is at 99%. But is it going to come out in time is the big question. Meanwhile, more Myrmidon coming in over here. We see some more naval ships coming through, but will Rapl be able to react to that in time or not is the big question. Meanwhile, more villagers over here are getting picked off as Ulysses' forward movement here is getting shut down, but the town center does end up falling here for Ulysses. Rapl, on the other hand, 179 of 180 population. His dock's getting taken down. He didn't end up putting any fortresses or anything onto this location to defend it, but even so, Ulysses does decide that the game here is lost. Too many Colossus, too many hoplites, too many Myrmidons, too much tech, too much economy, too much map control for Rapl. Rapl played this one really, really well. Took advantage of Ulysses' kind of poor early game and managed to get a really, really nice Mythic Age to really get a big spike from that Forge of Olympus from Hephaestus in order to get super far in front in this game. And then beyond that, Zeus taking buildings down is what Zeus is known for. Those hoplites and infantry units getting the bonus against buildings is such a big thing here in this matchup, and Ulysses just could not compete here. Really well played by Rapl. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.